Hey, y'all. Hey, Michelle. They're about to get started here soon, I think. I don't know if you guys remember this case in March of 2022. This Kouri woman poisoned her husband and then wrote a book for her children to deal with the grief of losing their dad. So I don't know if you guys remembered or not, but it's a crazy one. Another crazy one. And we're still waiting for Sarah to start, but that hasn't started yet. Hey, Grammy B. I think there are a lot of people who'll be covering this one today, so we'll see. And, the whole world right now is covering Bullhorn Betty. So, hey, Lori. But this is day one, and from what I understand, they're going to have witnesses. So this is the preliminary trial, and they'll have witnesses to determine if they should go forth with a trial. So that'll be interesting. Hey, happy wife. We shall see what they're going to do. I don't know. Yeah, Grammy, I don't know if the big eyes are for Bullhorn Betty or for, everybody's covering Bullhorn and her very strange protest that she's having outside of the, hey, Echo, of the Sumner County. It was a very quick little, I don't know, but whatever the hell she's doing. The FBI is having a $50,000 reward for information leading to Sebastian, which is amazing. I have not seen the FBI do that before, so I have no idea. That's kind of crazy to me. Hey, Black Widow. I'm excited that they're doing that. That's great. That leads me to think maybe they have something. They know that somebody knows something. And hopefully, maybe 50 grand will be enough to bring the person forward. I don't know. We can hope, right? Yeah, it has not started yet. It's in about a minute and it's going to start. Yeah, it was great, right? I think it is. At least they're trying something here. Oh, Thomas, come here, buddy. We're not going to be barking for no reason whatsoever. No, he's just not going to do it. He wants to. How are you, Black Widow? Why can't I can't click on this for some reasons. It's not letting me. Hold on. Tommy? Tommy. Cut it out. I don't know why he's acting up, of course. He's because that's what he does. Promise, I will jack you up, sir. Something different. I'm trying here, y'all. I can't do Betty right now. I just can't do it. So she bothers me too much. So I know if I cover her, I'm just going to say all the damn things. And I don't want to do that. So it's not worth it. She's a pain in the ass. And, she left off her last video with Sumner County, come arrest me now. I'm like, they just might do that. Silly. Like, what the hell do you think this is? Offering a reward? You typically don't see that. I can't remember ever seeing the FBI specifically doing that, but I could be wrong. I don't know. I don't know. It's very strange. But I'm glad they're doing it. Hey, Audrey and Anonymous. See, there are a few people who are like, yeah, I've had enough of Betty's ass right now. Let's try and watch a little something else. I mean, I know it's so big right now, what's going on with her. I get it because I've watched it too, but you just can't be as crazy as she is and get away with these things forever. So, Nanner. I think a lot of people are tired of BHB. I get why everybody's talking about it. I think she deserves every single bit of what she's getting right now. Every single bit of it. Every bit of it. And more. But, the quality of her last live stream was absolute trash. So I don't know how you can even listen to it. There's no way to even listen to it. It's just so... There's trucks and it's just very strange. Oh no, wait. So no, this says 12:30. I'm not crazy. I know it's at 12:30. Today's the right day. I'm not crazy. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Okay. Yeah, she does. I mean, she's just wild, man. There's something completely crazy about that lady. Truly there is. So let me see. Let me see something. Just to remind everybody of this insane story. Until this one starts. Oh, I didn't mean to do that. Hold on.
Office is really pissed about the content of that motion, but that is not enough.
Kouri Richins, the Utah woman accused of murdering her husband and then writing a book about grief for her children, is back in court with her new lawyers as she tried to get the prosecutors removed from the case.
Correcting the record begins and ends with one simple and essential truth. We didn't listen to the calls.
The judge's decision on that request is just one recent development in Kouri Richins' case. The spokesperson for the family of Eric Richins is here to unpack all of it. Welcome to Crime Fix. I'm Anjanette Levy. Kouri Richins is the Utah mom accused of poisoning her husband, Eric Richins, by poisoning him with fentanyl. She was back in court recently asking that prosecutors be removed from the case.
Good afternoon, Ms. Richins.
Richins has pleaded not guilty to murdering Eric Richins in March of 2022. Prosecutors claim that Richins had actually tried to poison Eric on Valentine's Day weeks earlier, but failed. Before that, a person prosecutors call Witness 8 claims that Kouri Richins said in December of 2021, it would be better if Eric was dead. The following day, prosecutors say Richins texted her paramour, I'm in love with a man that's not my husband. I want to, but I can't break up my family. It's having our cake and eating it too. I do just want to love you. The next day, Kouri Richins texted the paramour, if I were divorced right now and asked you to marry me tomorrow, you would? And I just want to lay on the couch and cuddle you, watch a murder documentary and snuggle. In May of this year, Richins was supposed to have a preliminary hearing.
Watch a murder documentary and snuggle. And now she is the subject of a murder documentary. This is terrible. Additionally, she wrote that book. Are you familiar with the book that this woman wrote for her children? I mean, is she guilty? Who knows, right? I don't know. But the book, it's called Are You With Me? And the way that it's described Wherever you go, whoever you become, their love remains with you. A heartwarming and reassuring book that gently guides children through the difficult experience of losing a loved one. Written by a loving mother who personally faced this challenge, this book is designed to offer comfort and solace to young minds in a way that is accessible and engaging. With vivid and colorful illustrations, Are You With Me follows the story of a child who's lost their father. But who is reminded that his presence is still around them, just like an angel watching over them. Whether it's playing at the park or enjoying quiet moments at home, the child is comforted by the knowledge that their father is by their side. As a book that celebrates the resilience of the human spirit, Are You With Me is a must-read for any child who's experienced the pain of loss. So if she did this and she wrote that book, it's like, get the hell out of here. Yeah, it's crazy. Hey, Queen Bella. Yeah, and she went on the talk shows. Like, ma'am, no.
Hearing. That's a hearing when prosecutors present witnesses and testimony to show the court that there is probable cause that the defendant committed a crime and should go to trial. But that hearing was delayed at the request of Richardson's then defense attorney, Sky Lazaro, who then withdrew from the case, citing a conflict that had been created related to the civil case in which her firm represents Richins. But as she withdrew, Lazaro filed a bombshell motion claiming that prosecutors were listening in to Richardson's jail calls with one of her lawyers, Ramzi Hamadi. Prosecutors responded that no one had really listened to the contents of the calls, and they claimed the issue was caused by one of the defense attorneys himself, Hamadi. Brad Bloodworth wrote at the time, Ramzi refuses to register for and use the HomeWave app that shields attorney-client calls. His calls are therefore recorded as any other call. Prosecutors claimed they had only listened long enough to determine who was on the line, and once they determined it was a call with Ramzi Hamadi, they stopped listening, which only took a few seconds. At a recent hearing, Kouri Richins' new attorneys appeared to throw cold water on the claim by Richardson's former lawyer that prosecutors had violated her rights by listening to her calls with her lawyer.
What the state has presented on the record is that what happened is what we expect to happen, especially as defense counsel, when we discover, sometimes inadvertently, sometimes knowingly, that a recorded phone call has been given to the prosecution. And that is that as soon as the prosecution takes note that that is an attorney-client call, the call is immediately stopped. It's given to a team. I know they've represented that that's what's happened, and we don't have any evidence to say otherwise than that.
Right. It seems to me that the findings that are supported by the evidence is that there was no intentional or purposeful intrusion into the attorney-client relationship between Ms. Richins and her counsel by the Summit County Attorney's Office or any agent of it. Do you see any error in that finding?
I don't. No.
And on that basis, I don't see a basis to disqualify anybody from that office, at least under this record. I'm not suggesting that the case is frozen in time, but on the record before me today, that is the affidavits and other attachments that are referenced in the joint request, regarding which Ms. Richins has waived any hearsay objection, that there is no credible evidence that anybody from the Summit County Attorney's Office listened to any potentially attorney-client privileged phone calls other than to confirm, well, that's Ramzi, I'm moving on, or did anything else to intrude upon the attorney-client relationship between Ms. Richins and her prior counsel, or with any of you. Am I missing anything in the record before the court?
I don't believe you are, Your Honor. And, our only position would be that, of course, if anything were to come up in the future,
Sure.
that would be something we'd address at that time. But as of right now, no, I think as the court has articulated it, that's correct.
It appears that Kouri Richins' new lawyers don't think that prosecutors violated her rights. Then they discussed a notebook that belonged to Kouri Richins that Sky Lazaro had claimed a jail captain looked at that was marked attorney-client privilege.
Is there anything else you wanted to say at the outset regarding the March interaction between Ms. Lazaro, jail staff, and the notebook?
I don't think we're in a position to address that, Your Honor. And as we said, Ms. Lazaro is not waiving privilege.
Right.
We weren't present when that happened, so we'll just submit what is so far in the record on that issue. We submit on that.
I don't see any legal issue with jail staff reviewing, scanning a notebook for words, diagrams, or contraband that would constitute or implicate a safety concern.
We would agree with that. I know that in the motion filed by Ray Quinney has intimated that it went farther than that, but yes, as you said, we don't have any affidavits to support that, and we're not waiving privilege, and there's no one here to testify about that. But yes, I do believe they have the right to scan briefly any documents coming out of the jail.
Okay.
Summit County Prosecutor Margaret Olson said she believed that Sky Lazaro was trying to create an appellate issue in case Richins is convicted so she could get a new trial.
Let's call this the poisonous breadcrumb strategy. I am one.
Hey, nonsense. Hey, Pixie. Yeah, the story, the book is just stop it. It's terrible. And the more I'm reading a whole bunch of stuff on it on the side while we're waiting for them to go live. I guess the Robert Tellis closing arguments are today, which were weird anyway. But I haven't kept up with that case very much, so I really don't know what the heck is going on with that one. Just the things that she's done or alleged to have done to get rid of him are crazy. They're just one thing that did come out was that his family, Eric's family, was going to be getting the money and not her, which is yeah, nonsense, you think? It's a little bit crazy. But there was a hearing about he had a $2 million buy-sell agreement with his business partner. And oh, goodness. So his sister ended up being able to control the trust. But Kouri, it's another one of those things where they switch up the policies because they know something's going on. Thank goodness he did that, right? Because if he didn't, she would have been in control of the trust, but he did. And his sister now takes over Eric's share of that business. And it says Eric's will states his sister will take over the trust if he dies, but prosecutors say Kouri didn't know that. They further allege that as she didn't know about the trust, she tried to log into the buy and sell agreement account with New York Life and attempted to make herself the beneficiary. Lady? The life insurance company notified Eric and his business partners, and she was then removed. Attorney James Tracy, who represented Eric's family, said the trust held the business interests at the time of his death. In this case, the real property transferred from being owned by Eric to being owned by the trustee. So, thank goodness, because, what do you think you're doing, lady? It is quite unbelievable. Oh, I got to answer this. Hold on. It's my uncle's memorial. Hold on one sec.
Member of the bar who strongly disagrees with that conduct. I posit that every lawyer has an affirmative duty not to engage in conduct that would be prejudicial to the administration of justice. And for this, I cite Rule 8.4D. It is wrong for a lawyer to intentionally throw a wrench into the gears of the system of justice, to intentionally create error, to intentionally procure a fundamentally flawed proceeding for their client. As an elected county attorney, I have a sworn duty to protect the constitutional rights of the criminally accused. I have a duty to provide a fundamentally fair process. Among the many rights of the criminally accused, I am charged with protecting. The right to a manufactured appellate issue is not one of them. Ray Quinney and Nebaker and Sky Lazaro went where no attorney has ever gone before and took the unprecedented action of seeking to deprive this aggravated murder proceeding of every single attorney of record on a single Friday afternoon. They withdrew and they moved to disqualify the entire prosecution.
So this is where I need you to slip in for a second. Sky Lazaro's motion to withdraw was not because of any of her conduct. It was an imputed conflict from somebody else in a large firm. And so I need you to stop just short of going too much farther down the road of alleging a dial and dash kind of plan here. Let's just stay focused on what was in the motion and what evidence there is, if any.
You know that I cover some really sad, difficult cases here on Crime Fix and Advisors for.
There is no credible evidence of any intrusion by your office or anybody in it or any agent of it into the attorney-client relationship between Ms. Richins and her current or former counsel. That is the end of the motion.
Judge Richard Mrazek denied the motion to remove the prosecutor from the case, saying there was no violation of attorney-client privilege and no violation of Kouri Richins' Sixth Amendment rights, specifically her right to counsel. Prosecutors laid out much of their case in court documents in May. They claimed that Kouri Richins was taking out loans and was in desperate need of cash to save her real estate ventures. They claimed she owed more than $3 million. And as I mentioned earlier, they also said that text messages showed that she had a boyfriend. This was back in May, and at that time, Kouri Richins decided to speak about her situation to Dateline. Dateline said that Richins told them, "I've been silent for a year, locked away from my kids, my family, my life, living with the media, telling the world who they think I am, what they think I've done, or how they think I've lived. And it's time to start speaking up. You took an innocent mom away from her babies." Richins added.
Okay. So those of you who've kept up with any of this, did she do it or did she not do it? You know, she's talking about this like, what? No. There was an article CBS wrote, friends and family expressed shock and disbelief when Kouri was arrested in connection with the death of her husband, Eric, at their home in Kamas, Kamas, Utah in 2022. I was shocked, her mother, Lisa Darden, said, remembering when she heard the news. She can't be arrested. Darden believed that Kouri and Eric had a great relationship, although there were some bumps. Ronnie Darden, Kouri's brother, said that at the time of Eric's death, they were probably one of the best spots I've ever seen them in quite some time. A year after Eric's death, Kouri wrote a children's book to help her sons cope with the loss of their family. The family, Lisa says, were on their way to healing. Just 2 months later, Kouri was charged in his death. So what is the real story? They got married June 15th, 2013. They had a wedding and a prenup. So they got married in the backyard at their home in Utah. They already had one son together, and their family grew to 3 sons. According to court documents, the couple signed a prenup agreement that day, establishing that each party did not have rights to one another's present or future income, property, or assets, except if Eric died while the two were lawfully married. At that point, his stone masonry business, C&E Masonry, would transfer to Kouri. Oh, 1 second.
And this means war. She also said her defense team was forced to withdraw from the case and that was not her choice. I want to bring in Greg Skordas. He is the spokesperson for Eric Richins' family. So, Greg, I don't think you were probably very surprised by the judge's ruling, saying that the prosecutors could remain on the case.
No, not at all. I thought it was a bit of a stretch for her prior defense attorneys to even raise that, but there was some contention between the attorneys in terms of what the prosecution was allowed to do with respect to her the items and things that she had in her jail cell. There was some concern about a letter that she had written ostensibly to her mother that the police found, in which the prosecution had, and the defense attorneys felt like they shouldn't have been able to obtain that and shouldn't have been able to access that, claiming that it was privileged materials. And the communications between the counsel from both the defense and the prosecution had broken down pretty seriously, but they're now off the case, and Kouri now has some public defenders assigned to her case.
Obviously there was.
So she now has public defenders. Okay, so you sign a prenup saying they don't get present or future income, property, or assets unless he dies while you're married. What about if you die while he's married? What? Anyway, April 2019, she starts a real estate business. So 4 years into the marriage. She began to buy homes, fix them up, and sell them for a profit. As the business picked up, according to her family, she would be working on 3 houses at a time, and she loved doing it. They say she was very successful. But a spokesman for Eric's family said she wasn't very good at it, that she was drowning and she was millions of dollars in debt. So, Then, March to June of 2019, there were stolen funds. Prosecutors say that in 2019, Kouri began stealing from Eric's accounts and misappropriating monies distributed from Eric's businesses. Court documents claim that without Eric's knowledge or permission, Kouri used a fraudulent power of attorney to execute $250,000 credit deed of trust on the family home, then withdrew the entire $250,000 from his home equity line of credit. Ma'am? Sheesh. So Kouri's family insists Kouri did not steal that Eric always was aware of the finances, that they sat down every single month and did the bills together, and Eric knew what was going out and coming in at all times. So November of 2020, Eric's living trust. Prosecutors say in late 2020, Eric discovered that Kouri had misappropriated his funds. Kouri's family disputes this completely. However, in November, Eric did meet with an estate planning lawyer and made a new estate plan. He created the Eric Richins Living Trust and named his sister Katie the trustee. In the case of his death, Katie, not Kouri, would manage his estate. And they said in a statement, Eric told me he had 2 primary goals. His first goal was to protect him in the short term from fairly recent discoveries and ongoing abuse and misuse of his finances by his wife. And the second was to protect his sons that he and Kouri had together. So he knew some crazy shit was happening. Then in early 2022, Kouri allegedly asks for drugs. She asked her housekeeper, referred to as CL, to get fentanyl for her. Oh, sheesh. Court documents say CL told investigators she did sell fentanyl to Kouri. Court documents also show that phone records and texts between Kouri and CL from January 2nd to right after Eric's death were all deleted off Kouri's phone. Defense attorney Sky Lazaro says the evidence isn't strong enough to prove that Kouri ever bought the drugs. She says there are no witnesses to confirm what CL is saying, and that CL is a convicted felon, so they're not credible. Okay? Just not credible. When CL spoke to investigators, she was on probation, and anytime you have that type of situation, they are probably lying to get a good deal. Valentine's Day comes up of 2022. She gave Kouri a sandwich. He broke out in terrible hives. He had trouble breathing. He used his son's EpiPen and then went to sleep. According to the charging documents, he believed he was poisoned. And he told his friend he thinks Kouri's trying to poison him. Kouri says none of that's true. She purchased lunch for herself and that he just wasn't feeling good and he went to take a nap. And that's it. Late February 2022, she asks for some of the Michael Jackson stuff. So there was a transaction between Kouri and, again, CL, the housekeeper, who clearly is like a drug dealer or something. And she told CL, the fentanyl pills aren't strong enough. I want some Michael Jackson stuff. Okay. Sheesh. Then on March 4th, he died. Deputies and EMS arrive at his house at 3:31 a.m. and they found Eric deceased. It looks like he had been dead a while. Documents say that Kouri told investigators she made her husband a cocktail before he went to bed, and she went to sleep with her son, who was having nightmares. She said when she came back to Eric around 3 a.m., he was unresponsive, and she called 911. March of 2022, the next day, they have a $3.9 million mansion. It's huge. Maybe this, yeah. Okay, this is a big purchase she made for her house flipping business. A $3.9 million, 20,000 square foot mansion. Kouri's family says Eric was on board with the plan to buy this and fix it up. So I remember this now. This is friggin' nuts that she went and did this. She was trying to flip this old house. And I mean, it was extremely expensive. But she was thinking, if I do this right, I can walk away with like $10-12 million. Yeah, probably not. The next day after that, Kouri and Eric's sister Amy have a huge fight at the house. Kouri called a locksmith to try and attempt to access a safe inside the house, and Amy wouldn't let her do it. And Kouri became enraged and punched Amy in the face. Well, in April, his autopsy showed it was 5 times the lethal dose. And then March 7th, 2023, this damn book comes out. She was arrested the next day. So she publishes that book, and then the next day, she gets arrested. That's crazy. Well, yes. It's never straightforward. There's so many weird stories that come out of Utah. There really are. There really, really, really are. It doesn't, I don't know, it doesn't make sense to me. What the hell are y'all drinking up there?
Major tension there. But I mean, this was a pretty serious allegation that Sky Lazaro was making as she was exiting the case. I mean, I think somebody said she dropped a grenade. At the hearing, they said she basically dropped a grenade in the middle of this and then walked out the door. And she was essentially saying that the prosecutors violated her rights. And it came to pass that they were just listening to see who was on the line because Ramsey didn't download the app that would have filtered these calls out. So the judge sounded like it was pretty clear that there had been no violation. And even her own public defenders sounded like they didn't believe that there had been a violation.
Right. And there really wasn't a violation. When a person's in custody, for obvious reasons, they have a lesser expectation of privacy with respect to things that they say, phone calls that they make, and that type of thing. Of course, it's protected when you're communicating with your attorney, but with family members and whatnot, for obvious reasons, inmates their calls are recorded, they're monitored. And that was no exception in this case. But like I said, there has been some contention between prior counsel and the district attorney's office. It was unfortunate that they filed this really scathing motion on their way out the door. They weren't even around to argue the motion. And the subsequent lawyers really sort of felt like there wasn't a lot of merit to it. The judge obviously felt that there was no merit to it.
As Sky Lazaro and the other lawyers were exiting the case, Kouri Richins, it seems like, took that opportunity to speak. And she sent some materials to Dateline, and she was basically asserting her innocence, basically saying, she's been painted as a villain here, that she hasn't done anything wrong. And she said, and this means war. This is what she's telling Dateline. What is your response to that? I mean, she sounds like she is ready to fight and fight bitterly about this. She's contending she didn't do anything wrong, despite some of the material that the prosecution laid out earlier this year, basically, that does not make her look good. She was in debt up to her eyeballs. And she was having an affair. Plus, she allegedly is reaching out to somebody trying to buy fentanyl, the same drug that killed Eric Richins.
Right. And she, even within her jail cell, she's reaching out to family members, proposing that they make up a story about her defense. She's presumed innocent, and we understand that. But we feel that the state has put together a very good case. We feel that justice will ultimately be served. Sure, if she wants to say this is war, bring it on. I mean, I wish that we could go to trial on this case next week because the evidence is compelling. And I don't know that a jury is going to look at that evidence and believe her stories, which, by the way, change fairly regularly. So there's going to be a preliminary hearing soon. That will be very telling. We'll learn a lot about the case, and I anticipate there will be a trial. But we're already into August. We haven't had the preliminary hearing yet. We're looking at a trial probably spring of 2025 at the earliest.
So, Greg, how long do you anticipate this hearing lasting, the preliminary hearing?
I don't see the preliminary hearing going very long. We've had the detention hearing a year ago. That was just a matter of hours. And that was a similar standard, a similar showing, if you will, for the court to consider in deciding whether or not she should be held without bail. I know the preliminary hearing is a different hearing. It's to establish probable cause that a crime was committed and that she committed the crime. But in Utah, and most states follow the same model, it's just a prima facie case. It's a determination for what we call a probable cause showing. And the evidence is to be considered in the light most favorable to the state. I don't anticipate that the defendant will put on any evidence at all. So it's probably the state's show. Having said that, probably a day, maybe into a day and a half, but I don't see this preliminary hearing going much longer than that.
And how is Eric Richins' family doing through all of this? I mean, obviously, cases like this is a high-profile case. They can sometimes take a very long time to work their way through the system.
You know, the Richins family has been patient. They appreciate the work of the state. They appreciate the work of law enforcement. They're comfortable that Kouri is in custody and that she'll remain in custody. And so long as she remains in custody, her attorneys can take whatever time they need to prepare for this trial. But again, keep in mind that she's in custody. The children are safe. So right now, the Eric Richins family is comfortable with the way the case is proceeding.
Well, Greg Squirtus, thank you so much for coming back on. We appreciate it as always.
You don't know. Let me see. Who published it? Let me see here. Oh, I think Amazon took it down. I'm pretty sure. It's here under Goodreads. And it says... Looks like... It's really difficult to even... I found it in the very beginning when all of this started, but book details and editions. Looks like published March 5th, 2023 by Amazon Digital Services, LLC. That's really all it says. It doesn't give you much information here. So it was just a digital and not a hard copy. So I guess you could just apply on Amazon and be able to upload whatever you want, maybe. I don't really know. I mean, it was a kid's book, so I wouldn't assume that there's anything in there that's very, nothing that you could be plagiarizing or book statistic. Yeah, I know that they took it down. It's gone. Let me say. Her reviews, people went crazy after she was convicted and just started posting all kinds of crazy stuff. Yeah, here's some. Sheesh. So, Kouri Richins appeared on Good Things Utah 1 month before she was arrested in connection with her husband's murder. At that time, Good Things Utah and ABC4 had no way to be aware that she was going to be a suspect in this murder. We are leaving this post up as part of our policy on being transparent. However, we've removed the links to purchase this product. So the original says, "Hey, Miss Beverly, Kouri Richins is an incredible mother who touched the hearts by sharing her personal story of loss. Her husband of 9 years unexpectedly passed away 1 year ago, leaving behind his wife and their 3 young sons. While learning to navigate her new normal, Kouri and her sons began to write a children's book to help others cope. She tells us she needed this distraction and a way to channel and articulate the family's feelings. This beautiful book is based around Kouri's 3 C's: connection. Now say the word with me. I hate this word. Continuity. No, it's not the right word, Tracy. Say the word. Say it out loud, y'all. It's this one. Continuity. 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 Took me a minute there. And care. Yeah, I don't think so there, Kouri. I don't know why this is so late. They were supposed to be on at 12:30. It should be on really soon, but Thomas, come here right now. Come here. Do you want to come say hi? Because you're really being a pain in my arse. Hold on. Hi. I love you. What are you doing? Hi. ASMR. Hi. Do you love your mom? Are you eating my product boxes? I don't think that's really not a nice thing to do, friend. Yeah, okay. As long as he's not stealing my shoes like he normally does. Yeah, I hate saying that word. It doesn't look how it sounds. However you explain that, I don't know, but I don't like it. I don't like that damn word, continuity. I guess this is expected to go live. So we're waiting. I don't know. We're just waiting here. I wish they would tell us when. This would be nice. Maybe they're just finishing with Robert Tellis. Because I think he was defending himself. He's a character. But I'm reading the chat over here, and it says, unclear at the moment. Per Emily D. Baker, she is attempting clarity from the courts to broadcast post-trial day. Oh, that's somebody else's. I don't know. No, electric chair. At first, we were to be a 1-hour lag. Now, judges deciding if he will only allow reporting from those seated inside. What? Where is she getting this from? Are you just making stuff up, Miss Princess Dot? Who even are you, ma'am? Let me check here. I don't know. I can't imagine why they wouldn't have any of this. It doesn't make any sense. Because Emily's not even live, so you're lying to me. You're just literally making up stuff. Right? Is that correct? Who else loves Emily Baker with her cuss mouth? I do. Yeah, I have a few words. I'm like, I can't say them. Sure. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, he's shown everything else. I don't think there's any way he's not going to be showing this, but we shall see. Tommy, hold on. Tommy. Okay, you can have that, I guess. It's just a piece of cardboard. Okay, let's see. AP News 12 hours ago. Utah judge to decide if author of children's book on grief will face trial in her husband's death. I mean, that's all it says. It doesn't say he had delayed a hearing in May. We knew that because of the attorneys and all of that crap. But that's it. There's nothing else. Doesn't say nothing. Let me see. If anything, if it's going to start, it'll probably start here at 12:30 instead of Looks like Hidden True Crime is there. I love them. Mhm. We will have Kouri Richins hearing on a delay. The judge does not allow. Oh, live stream. Oh, motherfucker. Hold on, y'all, now here. You just wait a second. Kathy Russin. Kathy Russin works at Law and Crime, and she says, preliminary hearing. All right, here we go. The hearing hasn't started yet. It was due to start an hour ago. Once it begins, we will show it on a 1-hour delay as directed. No streaming is allowed. Oh my gosh. And it hasn't started. Oh, well, we cannot wait here all day, ma'am. We absolutely cannot. We're just not going to do it. That's insanity. Okay. So maybe I'll just upload it separately because I don't think I want to do that. It's so tiny. Me too. Derek Zoolander made that quote. It's for ants. Yeah, so that's what this is saying, that it's all on a delay, which is a piece of shit. It's exactly what she said. So live Las Vegas reporter murder trial, Nevada versus Robatellis, day 9. Then she says 39 minutes ago, closing arguments begin any minute in Robert's trial. If he is found guilty, they will move directly into sentencing. The jury determines the sentence. 43 minutes ago, live poison husband murder trial, Utah versus Kouri. Now she's saying it's live, but it's not live because we've been sitting here for a million years. And then she says 45 minutes ago, it has not started. It was supposed to be an hour ago. Once it begins, we will show it on a 1-hour delay. No live streaming allowed. Huh. So there's no live streaming there, huh? Very interesting. I wonder why he doesn't allow live streaming. Very interesting. Thank you, Lauren. I need to actually do my hair because I did let it grow out gray. And see how it's all gray up there? See? Right now it look crazy. But it's half gray and half not gray. I can't. Who knows what color it is anymore, really? I don't really know. See? It's that I don't know what they call it. They call it something. They call it two-toned or something. I don't know. There's my lizard there. And don't look at my papers because they're everywhere, okay? I'm a very busy person. Sorry if you don't like that. It's just the way that it is. That's a mess right now. Beautiful. You love that look, don't you? Probably not. Do you love Tommy, though? Come here, monkey. Say hi to everybody. I'm the best dog in the whole world. Hey, Lisa. Reverse ombre. That's what I'm talking about. We're going to have an ASMR Pitbull channel. Make sounds. Make sounds. Hate those sounds. Make more sounds. Make more sounds. Make more sounds. Make more sounds. He doesn't want to. He's a bad boy. He is a good boy. He really is a good boy. Reverse. Yeah, you get the Catherine Hepburn wisdom highlights. Oh. Oh. Well. So, I mean, in the world of all the other things that are happening, I guess. Okay, Tom. Now I smell like dog breath. 50,000 on Sebastian's case from the FBI. That's pretty sweet. That's pretty sweet. I'm excited about that. That's very nice. I like it. Other than that, what's really going on? I don't know. Nothing. There's nothing. I mean, Betty, she's protesting, but that's it. Nonsense. Seriously? Seriously? This is happening right as we speak. Why? Here, Tom, come get your cardboard. It's like a mess. He loves to shred cardboard. It's absolutely stupid. Oh, he hears very well. He's white with blue eyes too. Isn't that strange? But he's Merle, which is even crazier because a lot of Merles have they're deaf as well. So yeah, cardboard versus the bed. Well, now he doesn't have the beds. He just has blankets because he can't eat the fuzz out of them, because he will eat the fuzz out of anything. What's for dinner? Last night was steak and egg noodles for me and Scott. And the kids had homemade chicken nuggies. And Jason had chicken nuggies with blueberries and yogurt on the side. Yeah, I don't understand the whole cardboard deal. I don't get it. It's insane. But yeah, he hears great. Watch. Tommy. Goes. Tommy. Come here. He's very into the cardboard at the moment. Come here, please. Come here, please. Come up here. Come up. Come here. Don't eat my crock, though. Yeah, I don't know if you can see his Merle. Yeah, you can. A little bit. If I take the banner down. Look at that beautiful puppy. I never saw such a beautiful puppy in my life. Never. I never did. Are you the prettiest puppy in the whole world? You are. It's a true story, friend. Beefaroni. I haven't eaten beefaroni in a long time. You don't know why you beefaroni and I don't know, whatever. Yeah, they make us lie. Yeah. Do you see that? Is that you? What's this? What's that? Oh, it's the boss. Hold on.